Hey, it's Mike. I got another message for you today. Something I've been kind of wanting to talk to you guys about. Um, it just kind of came to me today. I was thinking about my own business and real estate and just how yesterday was for me. Just it was such an easy day. Just like it was like one thing after another just kept happening, and I was so productive. I had like one of the most productive days I've had, probably the whole year, just getting organized, getting everything together, and just thinking about the bigger picture, thinking about how I want to do things, even planning for next year. I know it's only October, so I still have plenty of this year to go with 3 months, but in real estate, you always kind of got to be ahead a little bit too, and kind of planning on what you want to do and what you have, going for yourself. So, got this idea that, everybody in life really kind of needs some type of a coach or some type of a mentor. And you can get that from all kinds of different sources and things. But a lot of people, in the business world, there's different reasons you need coaches and mentors. The stuff I wrote down was business, sports and fitness, kind of like personal trainers and that kind of thing, all going in together. Life coaches, just a coach that talks to you about life and how to live your life and have a better life and all that stuff. Spiritual coaches, talk to you about Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit and all that, and even financial coaches, to teach you about how to deal with money and how to grow money, how to make it, make your life easier, by providing you consistent streams of income, things like that. And if you look at the industries, the coaching industry, as a whole, you'll see there's a lot of different people out there. Like in real estate, there's really like two coaches. They have like this guy Brian Buffini and this guy Tom Ferry. They're like the two biggest real estate coaches, and they coach you and they teach you how to do, set goals for yourself and how to sell like so many houses a month or so much sales volume, or calculate your gross commission for the year. And they give you some scripts and they give you some ideas, and then of course they want you to buy their marketing programs that they design themselves, and their email systems and their contact relationship databases and everything else, for real estate. But me, I don't use a coach, like that. I don't use either one of their programs. I have my own program, because as an agent, you want to be different. You want to be kind of set yourself apart from the rest of your competition. You kind of want to have, an edge to you that other people don't have, um, and just have some unique selling propositions, is what they call them, or USPs or whatever they call them, unique selling propositions. So, but I want to talk to you just in general, because not all you are real estate agents who are watching this video. So, in general, just with coaches, and you know, when I start thinking about it, we're all meant to have an opportunity to live the most beautiful and abundant life that you could ever dream of. That's kind of what our goals should be, is to live the most incredible, wild dream life that you could think of. And you can do it, with the help of a coach, and the coach that you need, no matter what industry you're in, or you know what part of this you're in, whether you're in business or sports or life or spiritual or financial. You really, it comes down to one coach. It comes down to one coach, because if you have one coach and the right coach, you don't need any of these other coaches. And to me, that one coach is God. God is my coach. People say, well, who'd you learn from? Who'd you get taught from? Who mentors you? who shows you stuff, who teaches you stuff, who educates you. It's God. God does all that for me. Like I said, yesterday was one of the most productive days I've had. And it was just like I went from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. I organized and put a little list together of all the prospects that I have that I'm working with. And, it was like God was like, keep it simple, stupid, so I put it in an Excel spreadsheet. It's not like this fancy, high end customer relationship database where I got to pay, $250 a month to manage all my prospects and everything. No, it's just a simple, um, completely non sexy, you know, Excel spreadsheet that comes free with your computer from Microsoft. So, I put in, the people who I met, how I met them. I put in their contact information, their names, phone number, email address, and then just put in a little paragraph in there about how I met them, when the last time as I talked to them, everything like that. And that's what I got. That's literally the only thing that I keep track of is this list of my prospects, because that's all that's important. It's like you just keep following up with these people until they either buy, or you see that they listed their house with somebody else, or they die. You know what I mean? It's like buy or die, right? So you just keep following up with them. And whenever you have that slow time in your day, you just pick up the phone and you just go through your list, and you call who you haven't talked to in a while, and just go with it. And it works. It works. It's a keep it simple, stupid program. And how do you get these people? How do you get these prospects? Well, open houses. Phone calls that come in from signs, referrals from past clients. And in terms of that, people are like, well, how, what are you doing to keep in touch with your clients? Are you having your big party like you used to do? You used to do this big bull roast party, and we used to have like, used to spend like, $8,000 to $10,000 and have this big huge bull roast party, invite all these people, and do it every like 2 years or whatever. And it was nice. It was good, nice spread. It was like going to a wedding reception. Especially the place we did it at, that actually was the place I had my wedding reception at. So, it was kind of crazy to see that here I'm throwing a party for my real estate clients. But I've come to realize that, people aren't just going to work with you just because you do something like that. And, if you have God, um, God's going to remind people to call you when they're ready. He is. And people can say, well, that's crap and whatever. But I literally just got a call the other day back from somebody who bought a house from me, with me in 2010. So that's like 14 years ago. And I haven't talked to these people in 14 years. In fact, I don't even really remember who they are. But, they said, oh, hey, do you remember me? I was like, yeah, I think I do. And, I started talking to them. I found out where the house was, and I looked it up. I eventually remembered the transaction, but it took a while. It took a while. And but see, God's the one that put me in their head when they were thinking about, oh, I want to buy another house. Who should I call? Well, they thought, let me call Mike. And how'd that happen? That was God that made that happen. And they called me up, and we're going to look at a house this weekend for like $550,000. It was like another deal. It just came out of heaven for me. And I'm so grateful for him. He's like rewarding me for doing what I'm supposed to be doing in my job, and I'm following up with people, and I'm doing, the work I'm supposed to be doing. I'm reaching out to retirement community people. I'm reaching out to new construction people. I'm reaching out to all kinds of different people that like I used to, and he sees, that I'm doing what I need to do. Plus, he sees that I'm being um, a good person for the kingdom, and I'm trying to bring more people back to him, and trying to bring people back whenever I get an opportunity to talk about God and how great he is. I do that. I even joke, like, even if it's something as simple as getting a cup of coffee at the convenience store, and you run into somebody there that you just bump into them or whatever, making your coffee. It's like, talk to them. Go and pick up a sandwich for yourself. You run into somebody in the sandwich store. Talk to them. Like it's not rocket science how this stuff works. It's one-on-one conversations. It's spreading the word. It's spreading, spreading the love out there. And I'm just trying to help people. Even doing this video, I'm trying to let people know, like, you don't need to pay these coaches, all this money. I mean, I've been to, Tony Robbins events where I paid $1,500 to just go to, so I could sit up front, and then I could wait, 3 hours after the thing was over to wait in a long line to meet him to get a picture with him. Like $1,500 for that. That's insanity. Now, did I have a good feeling when I walked out of there? Yes, I did. I did. But was it worth what I paid? No, it wasn't, because now I know I can get something that feels even better than that for free, just by praying about it and just by believing in Jesus and just by following his way and living my life like he lived his life and helping other people, regardless of the situation, that they're in. And like, I ran into a guy last night at my Bible study, and he came up to me afterwards, and he's like, where are you real estate agent at? And I told him, I'm at Cummings and Company, and he's like, well, he's like, do you know my mom? My mom Regina, and I'm like, yeah, I know Regina. She's great, and it was funny. I've done a whole bunch of deals with his mom, but he took over the moving company. His dad used to run, so he runs the moving company for his dad, and he's this real, like, jacked up looking dude. Like, I mean, he's ripped, big old muscles and everything. And he's like, do you know this other agent so and so? And I said, yeah. He goes, well, he does a ton of business, but he won't refer me clients because my mom's a real estate agent, even though she's been in business 40 years. And I said, now let me ask you something. I said, how many deals have you actually sent to your mom? I said, you drive a moving truck. So by the time somebody calls you, they've already made the decision that they're selling their house. They've already put their house on the market. They've already got a contract on their house. So how many deals can you actually have generated for your mother? And he's like, exactly. He goes, I probably sent my mom like 2 deals in the whole time I've ever been alive. And that was just friends of mine that I knew from my sphere of influence. You know what I mean? And I'm like, see, so that other guy, like, he also said he's a big Christian and he helps people and whatever, but he's not. This guy that owns a moving company, he's a nice Christian guy. He's at my Bible study with me. He's doing things for the right reasons, and he's living his life through Christ, and he works at the church, and he's giving back to the community. And I see that, and I want to help him. So anybody I know that's going to need a mover, that's who I'm going to refer him to. I told him, make sure you bring some cards with you next week to the group, and I'll do what I can to try to pass your cards out and let people know about you and your services. Because I know you're a good dude. You're here with us. And but there's nothing in it for me. I'm not getting any business for that. I'm not getting like any kickbacks for that. I'm not getting nothing. The point is that I make it a point in my life, because of how I have my values from reading the Bible and going to these groups and believing in God and saying my prayers, that I just believe that I am here to help other people. So regardless of who you are or what you're doing, if you run into me, my goal is to try to help you, as long as you're a good person, to try to help you, be more successful for yourself, and so it's like I'm trying to be an extension of what Jesus would do. He would coach people, he would help people, he would go out of his way to try to give suggestions or give some insight into how to grow yourself, how to grow your business, how to grow your brand. One thing I told him, I said, I got these contacts at some retirement communities. He's like, yeah, well, I work at this one retirement community. They send me a lot of business. I said, I know. I said, but I got 2 more that I could get you in touch with personally, and then you could go talk to them and try to get some more business for yourself too. You know what I mean? Like, I'll literally set it up for you. Like, that's all I got to do is make a phone call and sit down. I'm going to see these people in like another week, they're doing this lunch and learn type thing, and I'm gonna try to hook you up and get you some more business." And he's like, "Oh man, thanks for that." But like that's what a friend does. That's what a good Christian does. And that's what people should do. They should look out for other people and try to help other people out instead of say, "He's so successful. Why is he so successful? I want to be more successful than that. How dare he have a bigger home than me? How dare he make more money than me?" Like, that's how society is. Everybody's a competition. Everybody's in competition with each other. We need to stop that, and everybody just needs to help each other out. And it's easier said than done sometimes. I mean, I understand that, but you just got to look out for one another, and you just got to help one another. And if you do that, you don't need to spend $1,500 to go see Tony Robbins. You don't need to spend $2,000 a month going to one of these other coaches or coaching programs or whatever they're selling their crap for. And you won't need to hire your life coach. Will you still need a sports trainer, physical therapist, whatever? I mean, yeah, I see the value in that if you're a professional athlete or you're a college Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, whatever you're doing. Like, you probably do need to have coaches for you on the field and stuff like that. But it doesn't hurt to also have God as your main coach too, as the coach over your life. He's the one that oversees everything, not just your work, not just your work, but your entire life, your quality of life. Um, you know, Making sure you get enough relaxation in, making sure your life is full of peace and joy and happiness. It's like if it's almost like if you sit down with somebody who needs help and you say to them, describe what you're looking for, right? And they say, well, I'm looking for something that, is gonna take me to my happy place and put me in bliss and total peace and calmness. I mean, these are the type of reasons why people use drugs. They smoke pot. You know, I used to smoke pot, and it was great. I would get so super high, and I would feel completely numb, and my senses would be on overload, and I would listen to music, and I could listen to a song, and I could focus just on the drums beating, and focus on just the guitars, and it was a wild experience. You know what I mean? But the thing is when you have God and you have the Holy Spirit inside of you, you can literally do the same thing. It's like having the drugs too. But you're sober, and you can remember the experience, and you can enjoy the experience, and enjoy everything, because it's a constant state of happiness. It's a constant state of peace. It's a constant state of joy. Um, and that's where I was saying you can have the most beautiful and abundant life that you've ever dreamed of. That should be your goal. And when you have God, that's He helps you get there. He helps you get there. And it's different for everybody. Not everybody's going to have the same goals and drives and ambitions and just overall values and what they want to do with themselves. Everybody's going to have different things that are going to, get them going. Some people like art, some people like sports, some people like business, some people like computers, some people like advertising, some people like social media, some people like books, some people like, so it's all over. But God will help you take what your interests are and show you a plan on where you can go, and He'll help you get there and start moving in a direction that will set you free. So you'll literally be able to enjoy freedom and not have worries about how much money am I making? Is it going to be enough to support myself? or to have enough for retirement, or, am I going to have enough to be able to buy groceries with, you know, um, and pay my bills and pay my house payments and pay everything else. That was my struggle, was a financial issue and worrying about money. And you can probably understand why, because I work a job where I don't get a paycheck. I don't get a regular paycheck like everybody else does. So, there's some pros to that. The pros are I don't have to be in the office every single day at, 5:30 in the morning ready to go. That's not the way it works with me. But on the flip side, you have to have enough self discipline to be able to, know when you need to work and turn it on when you need to turn it on. Because if you don't make the sale and you don't get the contracts, then you're not making any money. You know, but and I kind of got a little stuck in that because I was making like a lot of money, and I got a little messed up with some stuff, and I fell into a depression, and my money went way down, and I had to pull myself back up, and that's where God came in, and God stepped into my life. He said, "Let's clean this up. Let's clean you up. Let's put yourself back together again. Let's get you back. Let's get you motivated. Let's get your passion back. Let's get your creativity back. Let's get everything back and get you rocking and fired up again on all four cylinders, and get you out there and ready to go." And that's what he did for me. And then not only did he do that, as he started to see that I had obedience to him, and that I was listening to him and I was doing the right thing as opportunities presented themselves in my life to help other people. Like a homeless woman who called me that was going to kill herself, and how could I help her? I've done a lot of various different things to help her out and try to get her out of her situation and at least into a little bit better of a situation. But like I could have just been like, call the crisis number and just left it at that. Like, don't call me again. Why are you calling me? Like, but that's not what I was meant to do. I was meant to help this person. So, like that was opportunity for me to show God what I could do. And I think if more people would take the opportunities that he gives you in life and look at it like, this is an opportunity for me to shine. This is an opportunity for me to show my audition tape off to go to heaven. Like, how can I help these people? What can I do? And it can be something as little as, your work has a box that's in the lobby, and it's toys for tots, or it's book bags and pencils and pens for teachers, or it's winter coats for kids, or whatever. Like, you find a way to give and find a way to fill it from your heart. Give and show your love, and God sees when you do that. He knows when you put the coats in that box and when you don't. He knows when you walk past it and go, "Oh, I'm not doing that." What they do for me. Am I gonna get any business from that? So what's the point? No, you're missing the point. But my point is that you get opportunities in your life to be able to give back and show, God, how obedient you are and how you follow his rules. And then what happens is, you get rewarded. You get blessed. And you can be blessed in different ways. It's not like you're gonna hit the lottery every time and you're just gonna buy a ticket and you're gonna hit the Mega Millions or the Powerball or something like that. It's it's little things, too. Like, maybe I'll get a call from somebody that has to sell a house for $500,000, or I'll get a call from a long, long lost client from 15 years ago that is ready to go start looking for houses, or I'll get a call from a client that's been looking for 9 years, and they're ready to go look at a house and they think they're going to buy it, and we actually go and we look at the house and they put a contract in on it and they bought it and they got it after 9 years of looking. All of a sudden everything's starting to line up. Like, it's been deal after deal after deal that been coming in, and they're not hard deals. Everything's been going pretty smooth. Had one little hiccup with one deal, but I just look at it differently. It's like I look at it like, all right, well, we still have a contract, but now the people have to sell their house as part of the contract. So we go back on the market as active status, and I can do more open houses now, and I can get possibly more business from that now. Um, so that's a different way of looking at it than, oh man, we got to wait for him to sell the house. No, now it's an opportunity for me to be able to get more business from an open house. Maybe it's an opportunity for me to find somebody else who wants to buy the house, and then they'll work with me, and I'll get both sides of the commission too. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But it's he's got a plan. God's got the plan. He's got the master plan, and he's got a master plan for you. He's got a master plan for me, and the sooner you can connect with him and learn about what your master plan is, the more he can help you and start putting you in touch with the right people throughout your life that are already in your life, but you don't even know it, that you're going to become connected to, that are going to help you and take you even further and further and further towards your goals and what you want to accomplish. And you'll be able to start figuring out, when somebody invites you to go somewhere and you're like, I don't know if I want to go or not. And you start thinking about it and you're like, I wonder if God's saying I should do this. I wonder if God's saying I should do that. Like I had a guy last night. He's a guy I was introduced to at another Bible study. And the pastor said, I think you two should connect because you two got really good stories, and I think you could relate to each other and help each other out. And so, sure enough, for the last couple months, he invited me to his other Bible group, and I've been going to that. And we've been talking and communicating and stuff. Well, last night I just found out that he is a Shriner, which is, people that do fundraising and stuff to help kids at the Shriners Hospital so they don't have any bills that they have to pay when they go and they get treated at the hospital. And he invited me to this like breakfast on Saturday that starts super early in the morning. But he said you want to come out there because you might run into some people. There's going to be good people like us out there who give back and who have good hearts and have pure hearts. And you might be surprised who you run into when you come out there. So he sent me the information for that, and I might do it. Because God put us together for a reason, and God introduced us to each other for a reason. And it's a little bit out of my way, but that's okay. Why not go and take a look at it and see? It might be something that I wind up getting involved with, and it might be something that I think is worth my time and energy and effort to pursue. So it's like it's an opportunity to do that, and that's how you start looking at things in your life. As things happen for you and people start inviting you to do things and asking you to do things, you start looking at them as opportunities for yourself and for your life, and to help others too. um, so the key is starting to surround yourselves with people who you have things in common with, and it's not easy to do, which is why I recommend find a good Bible study, because those type of people going there are not going to be the type of people going out to the bars and strip clubs and everywhere else. They're going to be people who go to the Ravens game or go to the football game and NFL game, and they don't drink. And it's one of the rare people there that don't. But they experience the game, they still experience being there, but they don't need the alcohol. They don't need the bad stuff to compromise their um, consciousness. Because they want to stay in Christ consciousness. you know. So that's kind of all I really wanted to talk about today, was just the fact that you don't need to have all these coaches in your life, life coaches, business coaches, sports coaches, life coaches, spiritual coaches. The only spiritual coach you really need is God. Doesn't hurt to have some spiritual friends, maybe a spiritual mentor or something. But those kinds of guys are usually free, you know, and it's not something you got to spend an excess amount of money on to worry about, taking care of yourself. So you keep as many of those as you can, with the spiritual, because spiritual, your spiritual self is so much more important than your worldly self. Your spiritual self is so much more powerful than your worldly self. And there's spirits everywhere around us all the time, angels, everything. And there's demons too. So you want to try to keep them away and do the right thing, and always be a man and be a woman of God and integrity, and just of good faith. So anyway, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Or if you didn't like it, I guess you can give me a thumbs down. And give me some comments. I don't get a lot of comments, but give me a comment. I like that. And share it. Share it with your friends. Share it with people who think they need coaches for stuff, because you don't. You need God. That's what you need. You don't need a coach. So take care. Have a good one. And God bless everybody.